It is my great pleasure to join you at your graduation today. You're very fortunate in some sense, and I am very privileged in some sense, because last year I couldn't be here physically to congratulate the graduates of 2022. But here I am, able to see all of you, excited. The energy in the room is quite contagious. And I can imagine that it is because you realize what a milestone you have accomplished. What you have accomplished is laudable. You have stayed in Nigeria and been able to access the most brilliant sets of faculty, because faculty makes a university, in the same way that teachers make a school. You've accessed the best of faculty from all over the world, and you've been able to take courses that would ordinarily not be available to you in universities that are not as endowed as the kind of institution you have graduated from. What this means, essentially, is that you have joined a very limited range of people in the world today that are clearly ready for the rest of the 21st century, where knowledge is designed to prepare the world for the disruptive era of technology. What that therefore means for us as a country is that you form a nucleus of the people who would challenge the traditional systems of thinking that has kept us below and behind the curve for development. Dear graduates of this school, one thing that I can tell you is that by the year 2050, Africa will have 1 out of every 3 members of the workforce of the world. 1 out of every 3. That is statistically significant. Now, it is possible for us to have that, but to have that at low productivity level. And if we have 1/3 of the workforce of the world operating at low productivity because they haven't been given the right skills, then we have not done well. Which is why your opportunity to be at the pioneering segment of what we must do as a continent is a special privilege that you have earned for yourselves. So I would ask you to actually clap for yourselves, because you have started the continent off on the path that it must go. Why is that the case? It is the case because Africa missed out on the agrarian revolution. Africa missed out on the industrial revolution. Africa, in fact, missed out on the early stages of the knowledge revolution. But Africa has not missed out on the ICT revolution. So what you connected into through your education in Nexford is the first real economic revolution that Africa is not just participating as a user of it, but also becoming part of the creation of the ideas that shape it. That is tremendous. And for that, I congratulate you again. But you know what? The Nexford certificate will not do for you what you must do as a human being. And one thing you must do as a human being is remember that even in the era of AI, and people do worry about AI, but the truth is that they should not be worried about AI. A lot of analytical work that has been done shows that even with AI, we would be net gainers of work, not losers of work. What we need are human beings who will use AI from a human beingness. Did you hear that word? Human beingness. Human beingness, for me, is the definition of that individual who would not compromise on character, who would know that values are the absolute deal breaker in the world of business, in the world of leadership. So I am saying to you that the most significant thing you should take away from Nexford is not these global level skills that you have acquired. It is actually the core values of who you are. Your human beingness will make all the difference, even in the era of disruptive technology. Because no device, no algorithm, no form of disruptive technology can take the place of the values that the boardrooms need. People that the boardrooms will reward in the world that we're in, when technology can do everything, almost everything, are the people who are human beings. It better be that we're graduating human beings today. That you are not leaving Nexford with character traits that would be a negation of all the education you have acquired while here. So I congratulate you again, and I tell you that if any set of people would be the leaders to double Africa's GDP, Africa's collective GDP is still about 2.5 trillion. Why should it be in a continent of 1.3 billion? And you know what? From economic analysis, it is clear that ideas converted into services and products are the basis of productivity of nations. So here you are. You have the ideas that will come from you because of the kind of exposition you've had to knowledge. You can produce ideas, you can produce services, you can produce products. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa awaits you. You have to be the ones that ignite an Africa where our economic prosperity is not creating inequality at the level that we currently see, but an Africa where we have inclusive opportunity for prosperity. So you go ahead, prosper, but don't forget to be a human being. And my father says that the human being is the one who knows that character, integrity is not complete until it is consistent. Every time we hear of you, it must be that you are consistently taking integrity above the road that may seem easy but will lead to perdition. But I know that you will vote for consistency of character and values, because after all, you are a Nexford graduate. Congratulations. Needs to continue to produce human capital that has skills equivalent to what societies that have done better economically have. And so Nexford University is one of the global institutions basically given the skills that are necessary for the 21st century. So for as long as we can produce more and more such people with knowledge, our stock of human capital is increasing. It means that the stock of ideas, services, and goods that our own citizens can produce will increase, and that essentially has an impact on the increase of our gross domestic product, our GDP. If we improve our GDP and we spread the sources of our GDP, what we would have would be inclusive prosperity. So it is important that we should have graduates of this kind from as many institutions as possible.
Specifically to the Ministry of Education, we need to ensure that we do everything to retain talent in Nigeria. We're losing too much talent, too many people are moving abroad, so we have to do everything to ensure that this is done. We have to pay attention to primary education, secondary education, and then universities. That's the advice. Nigeria 63, it's been a tough ride. At 63, things are very tough for many people. The responsibility is on us as leaders to begin to think about the people, worry about them, and ensure that they begin to see what they've been waiting for, which is the benefits or dividends of democracy. I don't think they've seen it. I don't think they've appreciated it. And so we need to make sure that it gets to the people right into their hands. It's a good place to be, but you also have to, it's not just the accessing of the loan, but the improvement of the quality of the education for which that loan is going to be accessed. And that's really where I want us to focus on. How do we improve education? So this is a general economic question, and one of the challenges that we have is to make sure that our purchasing power increases. To do that, we have to make sure that Nigeria's dependence on importation of all sorts of goods must go down. And we must increase our export capacity, not just exporting petroleum products, but we must be able to export manufactured products. We must have beneficiation of all our mineral resources here in Nigeria. We have to increase work, job opportunities by developing more what we have here. If you ask me, there are certain areas that we have to focus more. We need to focus in areas like Aba that already has some traditional manufacturing and increase their capacity there. We have to go to Kano where they have huge entrepreneurial skills and improve their capacity. So one of the things is that we must make jobs a lot more available and money available in the pockets of the people. Once you can do that, then they can pay school fees. I think at the end of the day, strikes don't help anybody. It's a message to government that the people are not happy. But in the long run, the people who are punished the most are the same people with whom we're striking. So if you want to do a strike and it's for a short period of time to get the government to appreciate that this is serious, then every country is okay with that. But if it's a prolonged strike where there is absolutely nobody, no solution, then those who will suffer are the people. And I think the people have suffered enough. When it comes to the dollar and increase in dollar prices, so you have a CBN governor who has just come in, and part of his responsibility is to see what he can do to bring that price down. But it's not a subsidy thing. What it's about is having direct targeted policy and encouragement of sectors that normally would have been importing and putting pressure on the naira through the dollar. That's really what we have to look at. And it's in those manufacturing and productivity areas here. You have a university like Nexford, for example. Most of the students have been here and they have applied, they've done it online, which means that we can keep Nigerians here, we can give them the skills that they need here, and they can begin earning foreign exchange by doing things here abroad. So there are ways, but we need to be very focused on it, focus on the digital economy to ensure that foreign exchange does not continue being pressurized. If we can do that, you will never get to 1,000 naira. In fact, you will start going down, and that's what we need to do.
Charge and final word to the students?
The students of Nexford, the future really is here. I know a lot of people want to jackway, a lot of people want to run away, but that's not going to solve this problem. We have challenges here in Nigeria, and those challenges are opportunities. So I have been here all my life working and taking charge of the challenges we've seen in Nigeria. Those challenges can make them great. Let them stay and make sure it's great. To the gas, I don't think gas will get there if we do the things that we need to do, which basically is look at the areas where you can keep the pressure down on the dollar. If you do that, gas will not rise. All right, thank you. My name is Tonye Cole, MNI. God bless you.
I did a master's in business administration with specialization in sustainability. I feel great, really, because it's a new presentation of education compared to what we have always known. Things are moving online, and it's an online master's, where I did the course entirely from my place of comfort, which is my office, and I'm happy to graduate today. I completed the program with very good grades. Essentially, there's nothing that's too much really to get the education you need. It's stressful, to be honest, because you need some personal motivation to guide your own schedules for you to successfully complete an online program. But of course, at the end of the day, we're happy that we completed it, and it's fulfilling. Yeah, the student loan policy, I think is a good idea for a start. But of course, there are a lot of contextual factors around it, which I am not sure if Nigeria is ripe for it yet. Yeah, because it's not just to give loans, but the criteria with which the people will attain, to qualify for those loans, it has to be also considered. And then, of course, how do you recoup the loan that you have given to these students? So I'm not sure if Nigeria is ripe or if the provisions of that policy are correct. But yeah, it's a good idea. Nigeria should look towards it.
Your name again, sir?
I'm Dr. Peter. Yeah, an MBA graduate.
Dr. Peter who?
Peter Idagu. Dr. Peter Idagu.
Nigerian students, are resilient. They're hungry for knowledge. Nigerians, we've found, actually believe in education and value education more than most people all across the world, actually. So we're very proud to have Nigerian people who we've skilled, and we've provided with the skills that they need to now be able to equip for global jobs. They don't need to leave Nigeria to be qualified for these global jobs anymore. They can qualify while staying home and access remote jobs.
So what do you charge for them?
At an undergraduate level, we charge about $100 a month for a bachelor program, for example. And at a graduate level for our master's program, we charge about $180 a month. Our tuition is different from a traditional university in the sense that it's payable on a monthly basis, but also the faster you graduate, the more money you save. So you can graduate as fast as you want.
How affordable is how affordable?
So, it's affordable globally. I recognize there are many people who it's not going to be affordable to, and for that we offer some scholarships. But what makes Nexford more affordable than any other university in America is the concept that you can graduate as fast as you want. And the faster you graduate, the more money you save, because our tuition is payable on a monthly basis.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, I am James Ogoluwa Oshinawa. I'm the Group Finance Manager for RGCNL here in Lekki, Lagos. Okay, so I'm here today for my MBA graduation. I am here today to formalize everything about what I have achieved, in January 2023 this year. That's exactly why I'm here today, and that is being done. What have I? Okay, so I am the valedictorian of the class of 2023. By valedictorian, it's referring to the top, the most performing students of the class of 2023. And other parameters were also considered. I give all the glory to God for that. I want to use this opportunity to thank Nexford for recognizing my efforts and every other thing I've put in place. I want to believe that the government has good intention behind the student loan. However, the students also should have, it's a clarion call to the student as well. Because, for example, if you are going to take a loan to finance your education, it also means that you have to be very, very serious. I give an instance of this program I just completed. Paying for this program, although the program has been structured in a way to make it convenient for one, because we pay tuition fees every month. However, the fact that I am paying from my hard-earned money, made me to be very focused. So I'm saying for students who are going to be looking at student loans right now, it's not something bad, okay? But then they have to remain focused, knowing very well that what they are getting is not coming for free. So that's just what I have to say. Well, okay, so I want to believe that there is nothing that is not achievable, okay? The thing is, because this is a new step, it can be a bit, there'll be a lot of resistance, you understand? But then it's a new terrain. And we can only wish for the best. That's all I will say.